What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Bruce, this is What's Popping, and in today's video we are counting down the top 10 Funko Pops from 2020. That is right, guys. 2020 was an incredibly difficult year for so many of us. It was such a trying, challenging, difficult, all of those adjectives year. And here we are, guys. We made it to 2021. So first and foremost, congratulations to everybody for making it out of 2020. And here's hoping that 2021 is a blessed year for all of us. It is a better year for all of us. And that we can all just come together and have a good year. So that's the start of the video, guys. And one thing that 2020 did bring us that wasn't so bad was some pretty cool Funko Pops. So in today's video, we're going to count down my top 10 Funko Pops from the year 2020. Now, I went about conducting my list a little bit differently to a few others that are out there online. And you may say this video is a little bit late. It is. There's some other videos, you know, a lot of YouTubers have put out their top 10 already. I was waiting for a few pops to arrive that I wanted to show off as part of my top 10. They haven't arrived. They're going to be part of, you know, sort of honorable mentions. So in my top 10, we are dealing with pops that were produced during 2020. So they had to be produced from the 1st of January to the 31st of December 2020. I had to get hold of the pops, so it can't just be pops that were out there that I didn't actually get a hold of. And then what I did was I selected one pop from 10 different categories. Our categories are Harry Potter, music or pop rocks, Disney, DC, Marvel, Star Wars, pop games, ad icons, movies, and television. So let's get straight into this list, guys, because it is a lot of pops to get through and I don't want this video to be too long. So first off, let's go and have a look at Harry Potter. Brilliant. Now, Harry Potter, there's two honorable mentions. These were pops that I thought earlier in the year were going to be pop of the year. I will leave pop of the year to last, in my opinion. I'll leave that category to last and we'll have a look at that there. But there were two honorable mentions, and that is Harry, Ron, and Hermione riding the dragon out of Gringotts. I think that was an amazing figure. I'll leave my review for that right up here. You can go and check it out. And the other one, which a long time ago, about halfway through the year, I was predicting would be pop of the year, was Harry versus Voldemort. Another incredible figure. I'll leave the review to that up here as well. Go and check those out, see if you think they should have been the top Harry Potter pop of the year. But in my opinion, the top Harry Potter pop of the year is none other than Nymphadora Tonks, and she was just such a beautifully done figure, guys. This is a character we've been waiting for Funko to make for so very long that she could not make the top 10. I mean, they've captured the essence of this character beautifully, from the purple hair down to the embroidery and filigree on her outfit, the detailing they've gone into there. You know, even though she's wearing a really black outfit, I think that it brings out her character really well. And with all of that black paint and everything, they've still managed to pack some detail in there. So from her earrings to her purple hair to her coat to her wand, Nymphadora Tonks has to be the Harry Potter pop of the year. Moving on from Harry Potter way across into the Muggle world, we're going to have a look at a Pop Rocks figure that made the top 10 for me. So I did not get too many Pop Rocks figures this year. There were quite a lot that were made and quite a lot that came out. I actually only picked up one, so it wasn't too much of a fight to see who the top figure would be. And it is none other than Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. Now, we were talking on some of the Funko groups recently about Funkos that have great mouths. This to me is a Funko where they've done the mouth absolutely beautifully. I think it captures the Steven Tyler, Aerosmith, those iconic lips. It captures them so well in this figure. He's got the sunglasses on. He's got the Pop Rocks pose. He's got the microphone stand. He's got the arm out. He is rocking out, and without a question, one of the coolest Pop Rocks figures. I think it's a highly underrated Funko Pop figure, and just one of my favorite Rocks figures. You know, they've gone to the detail of putting the highlights in his hair. They've got those sunglasses on that they've actually attached to his face. You know, with a lot of these figures where they put sunglasses on, they do still go to the effort of doing the eyes underneath. I don't think they've put eyes on this figure. I think they've just glued those sunglasses on. That doesn't bother me whatsoever, because this figure is rocking out and rocking his way into the What's Popping top 10. At number, I haven't put them into any particular order except for the pop of the year. Next up, let's have a look at our DC figure. And guys, it was a figure that, to me, this is going to give it away as soon as I say it, is one of the best chase figures ever made. I know that's given it away, so let's have a look at him. It is none other than Jack Nicholson as the Joker from Batman 1989. And guys, this is just an insanely well done chase. So many chases they've resorted to just doing different paint jobs for, or changing a prop that they're holding, or you know, some kind of item on the figure, barely changing the mold, anything like that. In this case, they've completely changed the head sculpt, they've completely changed the paint job on the head, and I think that they've gone to enough effort to make this one of the best chase figures ever done. Granted, the body is the same as the normal Joker figure, I'll give you that, but the way that they've done that head, the incredible paint job where they've smudged the paint on Joker's face to show that it's sort of peeling away as it does in that scene of the movie where he's robbing that art gallery, to the fact that they've even gone to the detailing of doing a different paint altogether, that metallic paint job on the beret. I think that this is not only one of the best pops of the year, and has been sort of put forward by a lot of YouTubers as one of the best pops of the year, but it is definitely one of the best chases ever done. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with that, if you disagree with that. I'm always keen to hear from you guys, as always. So there's our DC pop of the year. Let's jump across from DC over to Marvel, and again, the Marvel pop of the year, very, very easy for me to pick. It's been a lot of other YouTubers' picks. I'm not just copying them, I just think it is such a cool figure. It's been so wanted. You know, there are some really cool figures coming out. Honorable mentions would have to be the 2-pack from Pop in a Box of Iron Man as Tony Stark with the projection and his helmet, and his daughter with the rescue helmet. That is definitely an insanely awesome 2-pack that they've done. I think that could well be pop of the year for 2021 if they have not already. If it hasn't already been released in 2020. I saw the concept art, but I don't know if it's out. Let me know in the comments down below if it has actually come out. But pop of the year for me in the Marvel range has to be Tony Stark as Iron Man snapping his fingers. I mean, what an iconic moment. It feels like a pop that should have come out in 2019 because it is capturing, you know, for geek fandom and nerd fandom around the world, sort of the moment of 2019 and the culmination of the MCU up until that point. So it does feel like it shouldn't have been a 2020 pop, but it did only come out in 2020, and that is our Marvel pop of the year. The detail on there is incredible. The damage they've done to the armor, having his arm in the pose, of course the fact that it's glow in the dark on top of everything just makes it that much better. But Tony Stark as Iron Man, the I Am Iron Man version, pop of the year from Marvel without a doubt. Moving on from there, guys, we're going to move on to our Star Wars, and the force was strong with this pop, guys. This was a big year for Star Wars pops. We had the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, so we had a ton of pops coming out for that. We had some amazing exclusives. Honorable mentions from my collection that didn't make it into the video were the Luke riding the Tauntaun, which I have done a video for, so you guys can go and check him out, as well as Luke carrying Yoda in Dagobah. That is such a cool pop, and very nearly made it as the pop of the year. But guys, pop of the year, there's only one character at the moment who has taken over the Star Wars universe. He is the center of the Star Wars universe at the moment. We all can't wait to see what happens next in season 3 of The Mandalorian for this character, and it is of course none other than Baby Yoda, the child, Grogu, whatever you want to call him. It is him eating that frog. And you might argue with me, it's quite a common pop. It's out there, a lot of people have it. They have made a ton of the child pops, but to me, no top 10 is complete without at least one Baby Yoda figure. And for me, you know, Baby Yoda's kind of endeared himself to us over the last season with his eating habits.
Don't play with your food.
Has become a bit of a running joke, I think, in the Mandalorian universe. So that the fact that we have a pop of him engaging in a meal that was a lot of fun to watch, gross, fun, all those things at the same time, makes this, to me, the pop of the year for the Star Wars / Mandalorian range. And maybe, you know, in years to come we might have to separate that into two different categories and have a Mandalorian range and a Star Wars range. With all of the new series coming, it might just explode completely. We might have to have a top 10 Star Wars pops and just go through all the different series that are coming out with everything that's going on in the Star Wars universe. But anyways, guys, let's move across from Star Wars onto games. And this was also a really cool year for games. I think that Funko is delving further and further into the gamerverse, and I think that's something that's quite exciting. Now, I did not pick up Joel or Ellie. I think those are amazing pops from The Last of Us Part 2. Would love to have picked them up, just haven't had the opportunity. Pricing hasn't been right. It just hasn't been one of those. They just haven't been figures that I've managed to pull the trigger on just yet. But what I have done is I've gone down the rabbit hole of Pokemon Funko collecting, and yeah, that's a rabbit hole in itself. And as you know, we can see from Funko, there are going to be a ton more Pokemon Pops brought out into the future. But I went ahead and picked one that I thought was a little bit different from the games line, and it is Mr. Mime, who has got a shockingly low PPG value. I think on the Funko app he's averaging 45 Rand at the moment or something like that, which I think is ridiculous because he is such a cool figure. He comes in that little stand, which is always nice for your figures. Close second to him was Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo was a really well done pop. The reason I chose Mr. Mime is just because of that extra paint job. I feel like they went to a bit more effort with his pose. You know, he's got the hands out, he's doing a bit of miming, and the paint job is clean, it's vibrant, it's bright, it is a fun pop, and you know, why not? You gotta have a Pokemon pop there in the top 10, so I went ahead and selected Mr. Mime for our Pop Games Funko. Moving on from there, we're going to head over to our Add Icons collection, and you guys will know here on the channel I'm quite a big Add Icons collector. I enjoy my Add Icons. They can be quite tough to get here in South Africa, and you know, that collection is expanded now into the Funko Sodas, so that is a whole other rabbit hole to go down, but I'm definitely pumping the brakes on the Funko Sodas, definitely at the moment anyways. But our top 10 for this year, there were again some really cool figures brought out. I'm excited for the Slush Puppy that has just been released. I haven't picked one up yet, but I'm excited to get one. And for me, there was only one pop for 2020 from the Add Icons line that you could even consider for a top 10 video. It is one that I think everybody wanted since Add Icons started as a line, and it is none other than Ronald McDonald. This is sort of, if you're going to be a Pop Icons collector or Pop Add Icons collector, I think two quintessential pops are Colonel Sanders and Ronald McDonald. I mean, these two companies have pervaded every single aspect of culture across the world. You know, there's not a country you can go to worldwide, I'm pretty sure, that doesn't have a KFC or a McDonald's. So a lot of us were waiting for a McDonald's Funko Pop. We have been waiting for, and we all knew that Funko were going to go over the top with it, which they totally have. I mean, we now have the different hamburgers. We have, you know, a ridiculous amount of pops coming out for Mayo McCheese and all these different McDonald's Funko Pops. I'm keen to pick up Grimace. I have ordered him. I'm hoping he's going to be on his way fairly soon. And I would like the Hamburglar and I forget the chicken's name, but the chicken. I'd really like her for my collection. But to me, Ronald McDonald, clean paint job, beautifully done. Again, vibrant, fun Funko Pop, full of color, full of character. Again, they've done something nice with the nose there. You know, often the Funko Pops just have that pointy nose. I like that they've rounded the nose, covered it with that paint, and then gone into that detailing of the M's all over the outfit, that little sort of downward arrow at the bottom of the eyes, and his mouth as well. It's all really nicely done and works for this figure. So for me, a no-brainer in the top 10. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments down below. Moving on to our last three Funko Pops, guys. So we're going to be looking now at movies, television, and Disney. And one of these three pops is our Pop of the Year. So don't forget that and hang around to the end of the video to see what the Funko Pop of the Year was. So let's have a look at movies next. And there were some really, really good contenders for movie Funko Pops this year. But for me, being a nostalgia fan, I could not help but pick Doc Brown from Back to the Future. And again, there were a lot of different Doc Browns brought out. There are a lot of Back to the Future pops. Those have kind of exploded over the last year, but I could not help but pick Doc Brown with his helmet that he's wearing. It is where we see Marty meet Doc, you know, in the past for the first time. We see what he was like as a younger person. The detailing on this figure is absolutely incredible, with the flux capacitor drawing, the wiring on the helmet, the size of this pop. It is a really, really big Funko figure, and they've done so well to keep, you know, often as Funko figures add detail, they run the risk of losing sort of the integrity of the paintwork. This is not the case with this figure whatsoever. It is a really well done figure and had to be in my top 10 for the year. Down to the last two, guys, and for TV and series, there was guys, for me, again, the series world has been sort of dominated by a couple of series over the last 12 months, you know, with us all being in lockdown. We've been glued to our TV, we've been glued to Netflix, and at the moment when I think of Netflix, I think of my favorite series. Quiet! Exactly. You know, just he's right. I need to just stop blabbing on. Guys, Cobra Kai has taken over my life. I absolutely love that series. I've watched season 1 and 2 twice already and binged season 3 in a day. It was awesome. It was incredible. I love what they've done with this series, and that led me down the path of picking one of 2 pops, because there are only 2 pops for Cobra Kai, which are of course Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso. So I went ahead and picked Johnny Lawrence just because he is such a cool figure. He is very simply done, he's very plain, but the fact that I love this character so much and that 2020 endeared him to me as a character even more. You know, from the time that I sort of started watching How I Met Your Mother and saw him portrayed in a different light, I started to get a bit more curious about the character of Johnny Lawrence, and then from, you know, throughout the year 2020, watching the series, growing with him, seeing his trials and tribulations, and taking a really emotional journey with him on Cobra Kai, it has endeared him as a character to me, and it has endeared this pop to me. So for no other reason than sentimental value and nostalgia, I have to pick Johnny Lawrence as my television/series Funko Pop of the year. Now guys, that leads us to our final pop, the pop of the year in my opinion, and I think you guys might be surprised by this pick. I haven't seen anybody else even include this pop in their top 10, which I find really shocking across the YouTube verse, and I'm very surprised that people haven't been a bigger fan of this figure. I don't know if it's a figure that people have struggled to get hold of or what it might be, but my pop of the year, 100%, got it for Christmas. I'm so thankful. My mom managed to source it via Critters and Comics, so huge shout out to Marco over Critters and Comics for bringing this in for me for my Christmas present, and it is none other than Stitch with the ducks. Guys, this box lunch exclusive pop is just so beautiful. Stitch is probably one of my favorite Disney characters. I absolutely adore him. I'm a big dog fan, and you know, this is just such a cute figure, guys. He's a little bit bigger than the normal size Stitch pop that you see, so that is quite a nice feature. I like the fact that he's on a stand, he's got the storybook open, he's got ducks all over him, and that you know, the story of the ugly duckling really resonates with Stitch in the movie, so it really makes sense for this as a Funko figure. And guys, you know, the detailing, once again, they've really gone to town on the paintwork to make sure that that book is cleanly done, that the ducks are all well painted, there's no paint bleeding or running across them from duck onto base or anything like that. It is all really well done. The only thing I would just be careful with this figure, if you're an out-of-box collector like myself, is those ducks are quite malleable. They do tend to move around a little bit, so if you do knock them, just be very careful with those ducks so you don't end up snapping one of them off. But that aside, we have a cute figure, a nostalgia figure, a fun figure, and at the end of the day, just a beautiful addition to any Disney collection out there. So guys, that's my top 10 for the year 2020, and here we go, rearing ahead into the year 2021. I wish everyone all of the best this year. We have huge plans for the channel, so guys, if you haven't already, please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTube cliches. Let me know what your top 10 figures were, what your favorite figures were. Was there one that I missed that you absolutely had to have in a top 10? Please let me know in the comments down below. I always love hearing from you in the comments section. I love chatting with you guys. I love expressing all things Funko with everybody out there in the world. It means the absolute world to me that you guys take the time out of your day to watch these videos and lend me your support. I really appreciate it, guys. So until the next time, cheers.